Which Chelsea player has been labelled a disaster and was once close to joining Arsenal? And then, Gary Neville suggested that Mikel Arteta should have a clear solution for the striker position, one that wouldn't turn into a disaster at Arsenal, yet Arteta remains uncertain and hasn't even considered it. Welcome! We've got some thrilling Arsenal news lined up for you, so stay tuned until the end to catch all the latest updates. And don't forget to leave 300 likes to keep us motivated in bringing you the latest Arsenal updates. One of Chelsea's most expensive signings has been labelled a disaster, and in a different world, he could have been lighting up the Emirates instead. The Blues pulled off a dramatic coup when they snatched Mykhailo Mudryk from under Arsenal's nose in January 2023. With just 44 appearances for Shakhtar Donetsk, Mudryk's raw talent was enough to convince Chelsea to part with an eye-watering £62 million, with potential add-ons pushing the total to £89 million. Signing an astonishing 8.5-year deal, the Ukrainian winger arrived at Stamford Bridge with sky-high expectations. Yet, fast forward 3 seasons, and his Premier League dream seems to be unraveling at an alarming rate. Initially, there were glimpses of brilliance. His electrifying debut against Liverpool had fans on their feet, prompting Rio Ferdinand to claim that Arsenal would regret missing out. Mudryk himself had heavily hinted at his desire to join the Gunners, teasing fans with cryptic social media posts. However, Chelsea swooped in with a last-minute offer, leaving the young star reportedly heartbroken as his dream move to North London crumbled before his eyes. But what should have been the start of a meteoric rise instead spiraled into frustration, inconsistency, and, most recently, complete obscurity. The numbers paint a bleak picture: just 10 goals in 3 seasons. His struggles have been compounded by injuries and, most damning of all, a suspension since November after testing positive for a banned substance. Former Premier League winger Gabriel Agbonlahor did not hold back in his assessment, branding Mudryk as nothing short of a recruitment catastrophe. Yet, Mudryk is far from the only costly gamble that has failed to pay off at Chelsea. With record fees splashed on players like Enzo Fernandez, Benacer Bajishile, Noni Madueke, and Christopher Nkunku, Stamford Bridge has become a graveyard of unfulfilled potential. Beyond individual failures, Chelsea's grand spending spree has failed to deliver results on the pitch. The Enzo Maresca-led side has plummeted from 2nd place to 6th in just 2 months, watching their Champions League hopes slip through their fingers. Once poised to challenge for the top, Chelsea now faces the grim reality of fighting just to remain in contention. Their recent back-to-back defeats to Brighton have exposed deep cracks, leading Maresca to admit that their latest performance was possibly the worst since his arrival. But was this downfall inevitable? Some will say Chelsea's transfer strategy has been reckless, a case of throwing money at potential rather than proven quality. Others will argue that these players, including Mudryk, still have time to turn things around. The question remains, will Chelsea's costly gamble ever pay off, or are they doomed to watch their fortune fade into regret? One thing is certain: the clock is ticking, and patience is wearing thin in West London. And then, the echoes of uncertainty resound through the halls of the Emirates as Mikel Arteta finds himself at a tactical crossroads. With Kaihavertz and Gabriel Jesus sidelined, the Arsenal boss must forge a new path to maintain their Premier League title ambitions. The surprise revelation of Mikel Merino stepping into the striker's role against Leicester City showcased an unexpected but effective alternative. Yet, a single dazzling performance is far from a definitive answer to Arsenal's long-standing issue up front. As Liverpool looms large in the title race, the Gunners' need for a consistent goalscorer has never been more urgent. While Arteta shuffles his limited attacking deck, Leandro Trossard struggles in a central role, and Ethan Nwanery's inexperience on the right highlight the glaring lack of firepower. Gary Neville, never one to mince words, has little sympathy for Arsenal's predicament. He argues that the club knew from the season's onset that securing a top-tier striker was imperative. Their failure to act in both transfer windows may not just cost them domestic glory but could also see their Champions League dreams crumble before their eyes. However, Neville's latest proposition raises eyebrows: Declan Rice as Arsenal's number 9. The former Manchester United legend believes that Rice's ability to surge forward from midfield makes him an obvious candidate to lead the line. He insists that with Jorginho and Thomas Partey sitting deeper, Rice could thrive as an attacking force, capitalizing on his late runs into the box. Arteta, intriguingly, has never publicly considered this option, despite acknowledging Rice's growing goal-scoring prowess this season. In an almost prophetic moment, Rice himself once entertained the thought of playing as a striker. When asked in November which position he'd love to try, his response was unequivocal: a big target man, number 9. And when pressed on how many goals he could score in a full season, 20 plus, he declared with conviction. While his claim may be tinged with confidence, Havertz has also attested to Rice's attacking abilities. The question remains, does Arteta have the courage to rewrite Arsenal's tactical blueprint and unleash Rice as the unexpected weapon in their title charge? But while Neville sees Rice as the natural answer, the truth may be far more complex. A player's desire to score doesn't necessarily translate to effectiveness in a striker's role. Rice's physicality and presence in the midfield are what make him invaluable, and shifting him forward could destabilize the very core of Arsenal's structure. Arteta's challenge isn't just about finding a temporary fix, it's about sustaining the momentum of a team on the brink of something special. The clock is ticking, and with every passing game, the need for a definitive solution grows more desperate. From my perspective, Chelsea's aggressive spending strategy has turned Stamford Bridge into a theatre of shattered dreams rather than a stage for greatness. Mykhailo Mudryk, once envisioned as a dazzling jewel in their crown, now finds himself entangled in a web of misfortune, injuries, and unfulfilled expectations. The allure of his blistering pace and raw talent has been overshadowed by inconsistency, leaving fans and pundits alike questioning whether Chelsea's transfer policy prioritizes spectacle over substance. Indeed, their recent history suggests a penchant for high-stakes gambles with little thought for the broader tactical puzzle, an approach that has left them languishing in the shadows of their former glory. As for Arsenal, the debate surrounding their striking conundrum is not merely a question of tactics but of identity. The suggestion of deploying Declan Rice as a number 9, though intriguing, underscores the desperation gnawing at their title ambitions. While Rice's versatility is undeniable, uprooting him from midfield could unravel the very balance that makes Arsenal tick. Arteta must navigate this dilemma with wisdom, for a hasty experiment could cost them dearly in a title race where every decision carries the weight of destiny. What do you think? Has Chelsea's reckless spending doomed them to a cycle of disappointment, or is there still hope for redemption? And for Arsenal, should Arteta take the bold risk of deploying Rice as a striker, or would that be a gamble too far? Thanks for watching Arsenal Time. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Continue following the Gunners' journey with us, and see you in the next video. Come on, you Gunners!